Your employer calls you in for a meeting and you leave without a job. That feeling is devastating. Not only do you feel like you failed, but now you don't know where your next paycheck will come from. Hi, I'm Quinton, and this is Home Base. I personally have gone through a permanent layoff, and I know how hard it is to cope with. Unfortunately, during the pandemic, unemployment rates have soared, the job market's been unpredictable, and government safety nets are not dependable. What are some steps you can take to cope with a permanent layoff? First, give yourself a moment to breathe. A layoff can feel shocking and depressing. Let yourself sit down, breathe, and take stock. Connect with your support system. This could be communicating your new reality with your partner, family members, or friends. When I went through my layoff several years ago, it coincided with friends visiting. I was embarrassed to come home early and tell them about the situation, but they were supportive and provided an emotional getaway while we hung out with them. My wife and I talked through our priorities when it came to our financial situation. We went through our monthly budget and cut out much of our unnecessary spending. Things like TV streaming services, gym memberships, and even took stock of how often we were going out to eat and going to the movies. I was lucky to be offered 2 weeks severance pay from my employer, so we were able to take that into consideration in the short term. We put that money into rent, food, and our utility bills. From there, my spouse and I took our budget and we cut it a little bit more so that we knew we could maintain it with our reduced income. Next up on your priority list should be applying for unemployment benefits. The sooner you get your application in, the sooner you can get approved and get some unemployment income. Every state application process is most likely different. Benefits are typically paid out to applicants who were laid off by the employer. If you quit voluntarily or you were fired with cause, you might not qualify. Unemployment benefits reflect a reduction in your usual pay. You'll just need to be sure to factor that in when you're updating your budget. In my case, it was about 60% of what I used to make. Another factor to consider is healthcare. If your employer covered your healthcare, your insurer should reach out to you to continue the coverage. It might just be at a higher price. Some other options might be to move to your partner's insurance or apply through the healthcare marketplace. That way, you can continue being insured without a lapse in your coverage. Obviously though, I'm not an insurance broker. So I'd recommend you speak with your former HR contact or an insurance broker to help you with this transition. If you know you're going to struggle with paying rent or your mortgage, it's important to communicate that with your landlord or mortgage provider. During the COVID-19 pandemic, evictions have been halted if people are unable to pay rent. Every state and local government may have different processes for compliance with this ruling, so make sure you do your research to advocate for yourself and ensure you have a roof over your head. Connecting with local resources like food banks, low-cost healthcare clinics, and childcare connections can help support you and your family during these times. If I can emphasize anything, it's communication. No one can know your specific situation and what your needs are until you communicate them. It might be awkward and it might make you feel vulnerable, but communication is essential to make sure you're advocating for yourself and your family. Once you've got these immediate needs taken care of, you can begin your search for your next employment opportunity. To comply with most unemployment benefit programs, you'll need to show that you're searching for a job or are participating in job training. If you are just temporarily laid off, this should not apply, but make sure to check the requirements of your local unemployment program. Your local job service agency is an amazing resource. I personally used it to connect with job opportunities, revise my resume, and practice some mock interviews. With the job search underway, just remember, businesses are looking out for their interests, but you should be looking after yours. There is typically a 3 to 6 month probationary period when you start your new job, during which they can let you go, but you can also leave. So if you land that new job and it isn't all it's cracked up to be, continue to look and interview as you can, and then resign when you get that better and brighter opportunity lined up. And during all these steps, which can feel manic and stressful in themselves, it's important to take some time for yourself. This could be an hour, a weekend, or a couple of weeks. You have an opportunity to think about what you really want to do, what you want to get out of your next job, and take some time to take stock and think about what would have made your previous job better. In my case, I was laid off from a job that really didn't have much room for growth. The workplace was stressful, and there wasn't much budget to make anything better. There was also a bit of a gossip problem, which added some extra stress as I felt like I was a middleman in all of it. From the financial side of things, my layoff was pretty stressful, but from the emotional side, it was a bit of a relief. I was able to find a new job at a progressive company that proved it appreciates the work the employees do. Plus it has some great benefits and works hard to maintain a positive workplace environment. For some of you, this may also be the opportunity you've been looking for to invest in that side hustle or that home-based business. Don't get me wrong, everyone's situation is different, and the loss of a job will affect everyone in a wide range of ways. But if you're able to find a silver lining at all, this is definitely the time to do it. Please remember, you're not alone, and you don't have to go through unemployment alone. Look to your immediate support system, your community, and your local unemployment office for resources. I hope your job search, new business, or temporary unemployment goes well and that you end up in a better place than you were before. Have you ever been laid off? What did you do to cope? Please let us know down in the comments below, and we'll see you next time on Homebase.